Try not getting angry when you watch this.
We are being lied to. And not only are we being lied to, we're being exploited at the highest degree. And then on top of it, we're being replaced with the dollars that we work our asses off to produce for our families. They are taking those dollars, they are bringing in people that hate us, and then they are paying them to be here. And if that doesn't piss you the dude, I don't know what will.
Andy Frisella absolutely goes off on the Minnesota fraud going on, Trump not doing anything about the Epstein list, but more importantly, he shares the one thing that can actually save our country that nobody else is talking about. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my freedom-loving friend. This is where we help spread the light of truth and freedom because truth conquers. Now, the opening clip you saw, and you're going to watch a little bit more, and then there's that message that nobody else is talking about by Andy Frisella. Brings it, and he brings it with heat. Now, if you don't know who Andy Frisella is, he's quite well known. In my opinion, he should be more well known, even though he's already pretty well known. He is the founder and CEO of First Form Supplements. They do about $1 billion a year in business. It's probably a fair bit more than that. He's built that from the ground up. So he's proven like he can accomplish things. And being the CEO of a major company, here's the thing I love most about Andy Frisella. He sets his filter to precisely 0. In fact, he's probably ripped the filter system out of his own mind. I don't think he has one, and I love that because that is just a free, raw, authentic person. Whereas maybe Dana White's the only other one I can think of. A lot of people in high-powered positions, they're not free. Therefore, they're not honest. They're just scared of losing what they have. Therefore, you don't get their mind. And Andy Frisella, he has a great mind. His views of the country, what's going on with people, with our country, in my opinion, they're incredibly insightful. And he's also a great entertainer. Now, this opening clip, we'll watch the rest of it. He's in the middle of his show talking about the Somali fraud in Minnesota. They've been getting away with this for years. The point of this isn't to go through the details of it, but that's what he's talking about. And then he goes off on Trump. And he's a big Trump supporter, yet he calls balls and strikes. Goes off on Trump why nothing has been done about Epstein co-conspirators. Now, I think it's one thing, and it's a cool thing, to be able to point out with great nuance and insight problems going on in our country. However, that will never fix it. There's one thing that actually will, that almost nobody talks about. But watch till the end because I'll show you a clip of Andy Frisella talking about it. What truly can empower us to turn our country around. It's probably not what you think it is, but it's going to be worth hearing. Now let's pick up with Andy Frisella where we just left off.
And then they are paying them to be here. And if that doesn't piss you the dude, I don't know what will. Because I'm going to tell you this, dude, I've worked my ass off for damn near 30 years trying to create jobs and careers and build income and wealth and done all this shit. And these open up a daycare and getting $10 million. If this isn't the breaking point for everybody to stand the fuck up and say enough, then our country is doomed. Period. 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 Okay? Donald Trump needs to feel all the smoke over this. All of it. Okay? He needs to feel all of it over Israel. He needs to understand that he is violating the promises that he has made to the American people. Okay, I've always been a guy that has given that man tons and tons and tons of benefit of the doubt. But at this point in time, that shit is over. And every single that ever voted for him or stood with him needs to let him know. He needs to let him hear it. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't do something about this and he doesn't start arresting and he doesn't hold people accountable for the Epstein shit, and for this shit, and for all the fraud, and all the raping that's been going on the American taxpayer for decades, he will go down, and not as the best president, he will go down literally as the man who had the opportunity to save this country and chose not to.
So there's nothing in that I disagree with. I think that's incredibly insightful. And yeah, President Trump, you think of what they put him through since, 2016, but then arresting him and 2020 election, he was stolen. He absolutely was positioned as the person that could bring down the deep state if he gets reelected. He got reelected. Newsflash, not to spoil it for you. And I think Andy Frisella is right. If he doesn't start arresting, he will go down as the president that could have done something about it that didn't. There hasn't been another president in my lifetime that was in a position to do something about it because they didn't want to do something about it. However, that is at most half the equation. I think it's probably 10% of the equation. What our external politicians, hopefully a person, a leader who represents the will of we the people, not the will of they, the deep state, 10% of the equation is what they do or don't do. Yet if you look at Twitter, that's almost 100% of what people are talking about. We want great lives for ourselves, our family, our children, our grandchildren. So these politicians better do it the right way. We got to get a politician in there, a president in there that will do something to give me a great life and my grandchildren and great-grandchildren a great life. That's maybe 10% of it. Yeah, that's 100% of what's talked about on Twitter. Now, something I love about Andy Frisella is, he's jacked, he's loud, he doesn't look super smart. And I assure you, he's super smart. I've had the chance to spend time with him. I've been a guest on his show in that studio, saw his whole facility, and I saw how dedicated he is to learning and growth. So this next clip, he will drop the bomb on what will turn our country around. And I don't think most people want to hear it. Most people won't like it because it requires self-responsibility, not a politician responsibility, not Donald Trump responsibility, or someone better than Donald Trump responsibility. Check it out. Keep your ears open. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first I want to tell you about something in my health practice that I absolutely never miss, and that's taking my grass-fed beef liver by Ancestral Supplements every single day. Why? Because having a slow metabolism, low energy, and mental fog are my primary enemies in life. Beef liver is considered nature's multivitamin for a reason. It gives you most of the daily vitamins and minerals that you need, like vitamin A, B12, K, and iron. And because it comes in the form of real food, beef liver, your body can absorb 85% more of that nutrition than if it came from some synthetic pill. And personally, I've known about the immense value of beef liver for a long time, but my problem was I didn't like eating liver. Didn't like the taste of it. Plus, it's a pain in the butt to cook liver. However, Ancestral Supplements solved that problem for me with their grass-fed beef liver. Now I quickly and easily get all the benefits of nature's multivitamin without the hassle of cooking or, quite frankly, the taste. I love the grass-fed beef liver because it keeps my metabolism fast, energy high, mind sharp, and my cravings for crap low. If you want to conquer low energy, bring grass-fed beef liver into your life. Go to ancestralsupplements.com/JPReacts, and for 15% off, use discount code JPReacts. Now back to the video.
Personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion, okay? If we have shitty individuals, we're going to have a shitty culture. And we could throw a revolution. We could get new leadership. We could do all this shit. But the day after that, we still got a shitty ass culture. And until individuals recognize that the onus falls on their own fucking individual shoulders to live the standards of the American culture, then we will not fix shit. And nothing will change. Shitty individuals equals shitty culture. Apathetic individuals equals apathetic culture. People who say, oh, why do you that equals that kind of culture, okay? If we have excellence in culture, we have people who are working hard, we have people who are standing up, who are courageous, who are making money, who are working, or, living the American dream to the best of their abilities. Other people see it. People cannot be convinced through words. They can only be convinced through what they see. And when they see it, they convince themselves, okay? If you live next door to a guy and all of a sudden he goes from fat to being ripped and all of a sudden he gets a new truck and then he's moving out of the neighborhood because he's doing well, you're going to say, well, what the is Steve doing? What's he doing? And he's going to say, well, I committed to this and this and this and this and this. And that person's going to say, well, maybe I should do that too.
That's not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
right.
The American value that is lacking right now is the understanding that we have an individual responsibility to do this.
Amen to that. We have an individual responsibility to do this. And using Andy Frisella's term, which I think is great, it's accurate, personal excellence. Now, a lot of people, no, because Washington's corrupt and, that Trump could save it all. No, if Trump does a better job, 100 times better job as president than you or I can imagine, we still won't have the lives that we want. It's personal excellence. We are the cells in the body of humanity. Call it the body of humanity of the human named America. Now, if the body is sick, and indeed it is, and we can see, the majority of the cells are dysfunctional, are diseased. You could look at the whole body and say, we got to figure out how to make that whole body well. Let's somehow do that. You're kind of pissing in the wind a little bit, aren't you? But if you say, well, that body is diseased, and we can look and see most of these cells just aren't functioning well. They're not functioning with excellence. Common sense would say if we can get the majority of the individual cells functioning well with excellence, then that unfolds to the body of this human called America is now well. Most people don't want to hear this. This is why almost everything you see on Twitter is all about external, politicians, bad ones, good ones, but it's their fault whether things are crappy or things are good. That's because it's just playing the blame game. I'm going to blame you if things are bad. I'm going to blame you if things are good. But the truth is, as Andy Frisella so wisely points out, the responsibility is on us. As Gandhi once said, be the change you wish to see in the world. People don't like that because it means they have to apply effort. And you can say, well, I don't know how to change a country. That's what we're talking about is don't focus on changing the country. This is the best way to change a country isn't by focusing on how to change the country. That's 10% of it. It's personal excellence, living your life well. A productive, kind, hardworking person that has values, has morality, and lives in alignment with that. Now, I love these two clips put together, and I'm going to end with something that's just going to make you want to run outside and get after it in hopefully a productive way. So stay tuned in just a second for that. Now, I love these two clips put together because they make a complete picture. There's some who say, all change, we gotta look external as politicians, how the country's run, policies. Now that's not nothing. That's something. I think it's 10% of the equation. So I get allergic to people only focusing on that. Then there's people that only focus the other way. It's all about, me as the individual. Now granted, if you put all your effort there, you're gonna be well better off. However, I don't want to be delusional and say policies in our country, yes, that matters. So when folks just focus on one or they just focus on the other, they're missing the power potential of both. And I think Andy Frisella brings them together in such a beautiful fashion. For the life of me, I don't understand why more people don't talk about the most powerful impact you or I can have in changing America for the better is to live our lives with excellence. I've been saying this the past few years in my own ways. Hopefully you've heard me say it, yet Andy Frisella just says it so well. I couldn't help but share this. And I've firsthand experience with Andy when I was there in his First Form headquarters, just to share some of the dedication he has to personal growth. This isn't some guy sitting on the bench just yelling, everybody out there, you should have personal excellence, work on yourself. He does it. He has a whole library in his corporate headquarters of First Form dedicated to self-growth. And it's a giving library because he wants his employees to get better as individuals, be more excellent as individuals. So he has just amazing self-growth. I took one from it. He gave it to me. He has multiples of all these books because he wants people that visit or that work there to take them, read them, and use them. And he does this in what I'm talking about, we change America by personal excellence, what Andy's talking about. He applies that to his own company. They have, I don't know, it's hundreds of employees, if not thousands. And he realizes if they become better individuals, then my company is better, because that medium-sized body, the company, becomes better if the cells of that body are better. And we do that through personal excellence. It's easy to say, it's hard to do. Most people don't like hearing it. Most people are unwilling to do it because all the effort goes to the individual. I have to live better. I have to stop doing things that are out of alignment. I have to start doing things that are in alignment to live a life well. It will take way more effort, way more energy. But you can just sit on the bench. Donald Trump is doing that. He's not doing that. Golly, we're doomed. And of course, I think because Andy is screaming at you while he's talking, it just kind of, the fire becomes contagious. I love it. So let me leave you with a little extra fire motivation from Andy Frisella when it comes to increasing your personal excellence, because I think that is the most powerful way to make America a better place for our lives, the lives of our children, grandchildren, and one day great-grandchildren.
Nobody is coming. You are the only one that's going to be able to save you. What have you done to make people believe in you? What have you actually done that shows other people that you are going to do what you said you were going to do? I am the kind of person that if you doubt me, if you question me, if you challenge me, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be in 2 weeks, you might not ever see it coming, but eventually I will win. How can you wake up every day and just accept your life and all the things that you don't like about it and not go hard to change that? I do not align with that. You gotta fucking fight. Shit's hard. It's hard as You're gonna have days where you don't want to do anything. You're gonna have days where getting out of bed is the hardest motherfucking thing.
By the way, I just noticed his shirt. Sorry to kill the momentum here. Notice his shirt, which I'm sure is something he had made. Personal excellence, real American freedom. Damn, that's good. I gotta get me one of those.
Ever did in your life. You gotta get the fuck up and you gotta get in the fucking fight. When it's 0 degrees and there's a foot of snow on the ground and you're out there and no one else is out there and you're doing what the takes, and you look around and you can't see another human for miles. You don't see a car. You can't hear anything. I'm the only one. I am the only one paying the price. I am the only one doing what's required. Everybody else is sitting at home eating Doritos, and I am out here in the snow getting better. How can you not be excited about that? If you can't get excited about that, and you can't find that mindset, go eat some donuts and get the up.
Well, my friend, let me know what you think of this perspective from Andy Frisella, which I highly endorse, in the comments below. And I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. But until then, get excellent.